the term "build not bought" is very influential in a lot of garage builder. So what that means is that you don't just walk into a dealership, buy a bike, and then ride it, right? So what that means is that you want to build your own bike to your own style that no one else seen before, that no one else have. Right? It's kind of a one-on-one bike for you. My name is Duke Tran. My 9-to-5 job is working for a semiconductor company as a global supply chain manager. But on the weekend, I kind of become, I guess, take on a second personality of building and customizing motorcycle. Being born in Vietnam, I grew up around motorcycle because that's all we had back then, was just motorcycle. And my dad had motorcycle. I rode on the back of his motorcycle. And, you know, watch him work on motorcycles because, you know, a lot of Vietnamese don't have the resources to take a motorcycle to a mechanic. They're going to have to pretty much do all the mechanic on their own. So, you know, I help out, and that kind of helped me, help influence me going down the path of being a kind of a motorhead, you know, wanting to be a motor geek. I'm not a trained mechanic by all means, you know. Everything I've done is self-taught. And so I didn't really took to wrenching until I bought the K75. And even that, I did some light wrenching, did some light fabrication work. And so it wasn't until the second build that I really wanted to challenge myself and take on more fabrication, more modification. A friend of mine who had too many bikes, he asked me to see if I could take one home and store it for him. And so I took it home and kind of rode around a little bit and just kind of maintaining it for him. And then one day I was in between project and I was itching to do something. So I phoned him up and asked him if I can lightly modify his bike. He said, well, why don't I just sell it to you for a really affordable price? I was like, okay. And so he did, and I bought it from him, and so I proceeded to take it apart. And given that the bike was such a classic collectible bike, I didn't want to do too much modification. I didn't want to chop up the frame. I didn't want to detap a lot of things, and so I did what they call resto mod on the bike. I, you know, gave it a lot of character. Do some fabrication that's bolt on rather than cutting up the frame, and just kind of make it into my own style, into a classic bike with a lot of character. And so it was accepted into the Hand Build show for 2019. Unfortunately, the pandemic hit, and that show got canceled. It was going to be in the 2020 show that was going to take place here in October. And unfortunately, that show got delayed until next April. So hopefully, if everything goes well, the bike will be in the show for the 2022 year. And I'm stoked about that, having the bike in the show. As you can see, I like to have a visual space that I like, and not just a greasy garage space. So you step in on the shell, yes, it is a garage, but you look beyond that, it's like a little studio, little motorcycle art studio. So I like to decorate it to how I like to see it visually. You know, just having the freedom to get out there on two wheels and ride in the hill country roads around Austin with a group of friends, you know. So that's the passion about the lifestyle of motorcycling. You know. Just hitting the open road on two wheels. And, you know, at the end of the day, you in control of that machine that you're sitting on.